Hi, I'm Jill from June Taylor. We've all heard of paint by number. Now we have sew by number. This is called Quilt As You Go, where the pattern is actually printed right on the batting. We start out by cutting around our printed batting, and we're going to attach our backing fabric. And to do that, we can either use quilt basting spray by spraying it on the batting, or we can use our fabric glue stick. This goes on purple, but it dries clear. We're going to cut all our pieces to the size that the directions tell us. We like to starch our fabrics first to get them nice and stiff. And then we're going to simply follow the directions. So put piece number 1 in the number 1 spot like this. Piece number 2, right sides together with piece number 1 on the placement line between 1 and 2. And now you're going to stitch 1/4 of an inch away from the edge. And we're going to continue on in the same manner. And we're done with our finished placemat.
Traditional methods for cutting? Then you need an AccuQuilt die cutting machine. AccuQuilt offers 3 amazing machines, the Mark III, Mark V, and Grand Mark II, that can cut up to 10 layers of paper in just one pass through the machine. But paper isn't the only material you can use. In just a matter of seconds, you can cut craft foam, chipboard, cardstock, and more. These beginner-friendly machines all include their own die tray to securely keep an AccuQuilt die in place as it passes through the machine. The handles are easy to turn, no more sore hands from using scissors or rotary cutters. And perfectly cut shapes will come out the other side every time. Any teacher or creator can cut out dozens of perfect projects in just minutes. AccuQuilt has thousands of die shapes to choose from for endless creativity. Upgrade the way you teach and create with an AccuQuilt die cutting machine.
Transforming your t-shirts into a quilt full of memories is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Which memories will you choose to cherish forever? Cut your own shirts or let us cut them for you. A lifetime of memories is now the memory of a lifetime. Get ready for some farm fresh fun with the Go Tractor Die. This 6x12 die board will work with any Go fabric cutter and is bursting with 7 unique and complicated shapes that all fit together to build the tractor of your dreams. From the basic body of the tractor to the detailed wheels, these shapes would be difficult and time-consuming to cut by hand, but they are easy to harvest using this die. You'll be building a farm full of these tractors in no time. Use them to embellish quilts, wall hangings, and more. The tractor is sized perfectly to work along the Go camper, the Go pickup, and of course the Go farm animals. The Go Tractor is sure to cultivate your creativity because at AccuQuilt, we help you cut time so you can quilt more.
Hi quilters, today we're introducing the March Die to Try Die. today's launch party.
Yay!
Awesome. I'm Lynn Gibney, AccuQuilt's Chief Brand and Product Officer. I'm here with your hosts, Pam and Erica.
Hello.
Hello. We're going to introduce March's Die to Try.
That's right.
Okay, now we've had for the last few months applique dies for the die to try. But this month's die is a bob or a block on board die, which means all the pieces you need to make one block are on the die board. It is sure to become a star.
Indeed it is. And it's sure to make you anything but cross. By the way, those are hints.
So many. All right, quilters, we're going to shine the light on creativity and inspire you with ideas for this die and show off some beautiful samples as well. We are all oohing and ahhing.
Yes.
That's right. So just don't get so carried away that you forget to give away some door prizes, right?
Do that.
Yeah, we will.
All right, and we've also got some great experts, Marianne Fontana and Tammy White, joining us. So I had better go check in with them.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, have a great
Thanks,
show.
Lynn.
All right.
All right, Pam, I think we've dropped plenty of hints. Let's introduce this month's Die to Try.
A fresh new star is on the horizon, the Go Star and Cross 10-inch finished block on board or bob die. This celestial die cuts all the pieces you'll need to create this stunning block in just one pass through any Go fabric cutter. From screen printed letters on the die board to specialized dog ears and easy to follow cutting and assembly instructions, this complex looking block is a snap to create for quilters of any skill level. Whether set straight or on point, helping you create dozens of projects like table runners, wall hangings, and quilts. Team it up with partners like the Go Setting Triangles 10-inch finished, the Go Mix and Match 10-inch finished block, or other bob dies to create a galaxy of personalized projects. With this die to guide you, the classic design of this block can take on a fresh, modern look, perfect for any season of the year. Because at AccuQuilt, we help you cut time so you can quilt more. All right, quilters, as you might have guessed, the Star and Cross block is classic.
Yes.
And here it is. I'm going to show it to you. Now, according to quilt historian Barbara Brockman in her book, The Encyclopedia of Pieced Quilt Patterns, there have been many blocks referred to as the Star and Cross over the years, and this particular block has also been known by other names as well.
So typical of quilt blocks, right?
Right.
You'll also see this block referenced as the Mexican Star block, a Mexican Rose block, or a Panama Star by Nancy Cabot. Now it's also known as the North Star or the Shining Hour block.
I like the North
I kinda
Star.
like Shining Hour.
Okay, we can do
I
that.
like them all. Now our version is, as Pam pointed out earlier, a block on board or bob die, and it's designed to cut all the pieces for one 3-color 10-inch finished block in just one pass through any Go cutter.
All right, and that includes the Go Me.
Yes.
So let's look at this die here. It's on a 6x24 die board, so it's going to fit through all of our cutters, and we need to use a 6x24 cutting mat. What
True.
happens, Erica, sometimes quilters think, oh, I could use my 10x24 cutting mat, but then what happens, it just shimmies.
It can shift, it can mess up your cuts, and we love our fabric way too much to do that.
All right, so there are 11 shapes on this die. 2 shape A's, they're all screen printed, B, C, D, and E. Look, for these half square triangles and for our chisel shape, we've already cut off the dog ears.
They're very specialized
They
too.
are. And this is kind of a cool shape. We have yet to name it. I think it's an obelisk.
I've been calling it a picket.
There we go. All right, and this is like no foundation paper piecing. And don't forget, these chisel shape B are directional.
Oh yeah, we're going to talk about
We
that.
are. So when you cut with it, you want to have your fabric back and forth. You can
Right.
fan fold back and forth. So
Right.
I'm actually going to lay this on here right here.
Okay.
And then I realized as I did this. Okay, so should we talk?
We can talk, we can talk. Yeah. So a lot of times you would look at a block with these very precise points and you would think about foundation paper piecing, but you don't have to do that with this.
Right.
This is gonna go together perfectly for you. And these shapes are really cool.
Yeah.
We're gonna do some fun things with
In my
it.
quilting head, I thought these were 2 chisels, but they are not. They are chisels and then shape C.
Yes,
Okay. We have pattern instructions.
we do, And unlike Pam and I sometimes, you should follow them.
You should. There you go.
Every once in a while I get carried away, right?
Oh, very much so. And sometimes you cut them wrong.
Sometimes.
All right, do you want to cut this?
I will, I do. I can.
Okay.
All those things.
So this looks like it's super complicated, but quilters, it is not. And we're going to talk about some different ways you can match it up with things and kind of change up the block itself, which is kind of cool.
Right. And like you mentioned, it looks complicated, but really all you need to be able to do is sew a 1/4-inch seam. And that's, okay, we have been having, it's so dry here in Omaha.
It's so staticky and dry.
Okay, I'm gonna put this over here, get it out of our way a little bit.
Okay, let's kind of talk about this. So the center of our block is actually a 9 patch, which I think is kind of cool.
Right, so let's pull that in. Now, when the block is set flat, that 9 patch in the center is on point. If you turn the block on point, then you see that 9 patch come out a little bit more. That's because this style of block falls into the 9X category because of this diagonal orientation within the square. So that means that this block is divided by these diagonal seams, but our version has no Y seams. So
None.
don't worry.
None
Don't worry.
whatsoever.
We know that that's a phrase that can cause little palpitations.
All right, so shall we build a little bit of this so you
Yeah,
can
I think we
see?
should.
All right, so here, let's just build a corner.
Okay.
All right, so here in the middle, we'll just build some of our 9 patch, which I think is kind of cool.
It's cool how it goes together.
Right. Now, when you put this together, quilters, notice you have to add a square to the end of our obelisk or a picket. Okay?
Yes.
A white square. Okay? And then now we can build those chisel pieces.
That's right.
And this is super cool. I like this.
I do too. That is very pretty batik.
Now, this, you want to lay them out.
Yes.
You want to lay this out.
When I first was testing this block, that was my biggest bugaboo, if you will, was figuring out how to lay out my pieces. And once you do it, you got smooth sailing.
Right.
Luckily for you, we have fantastic block assembly directions for this. You can find that on the packaging, but you can also go to the Dies product page on AccuQuilt.com and download them for free, and that's where you'll find a coloring page that you can use with this block as well.
And you'll find a great video that Erica and I made.
That too.
Okay, so look at how cool this is. All right, so this is how you want to lay it out. It's kind of cool because typically half square triangles, you put them like this, right?
Right.
And these are actually 1/4 square triangles.
They are.
Because that lengthwise green is right there. All right, now it's going to look amazing on its own, but think about it with other blocks like the mosaic number 4 or the Go Rising Star.
Right.
But before we go any further, we'd like to give one of these dies away. Don't you think we should?
That is a good plan.
Okay.
All right. The first lucky registered viewer winning a Go Star and Cross die today is, drum roll please, Lou B. from Muskegon, Michigan. Congratulations, Lou.
Oh, you're going to love this. All right, quilters, we have 2 of our experts lined up waiting to show us what they're thinking of doing with this die, starting with Marianne Fontana. Marianne is a self-taught sewer, quilter, and textile artist. Hi, Marianne, who started sewing at the tender age of 8.
Now, Marianne is full of enthusiasm for quilting with AccuQuilt and says it has changed everything about her quilting technique, allowing her to spend more time designing patterns and tackling projects she never would have dreamed of making before. And I have to say the same is true for me.
Oh, yes. She's joined today by expert Tammy White. Tammy's love of quilting, hi Tammy, started over 40 years ago and she continues today. She learned techniques from local and international quilters and has taught quilting through both guilds and quilt shops to share her passion with others.
Tammy has used AccuQuilt since 2009 and knows firsthand that her go saves her time cutting so she can quilt more. Tammy, what have you dreamed up for this new die so far?
Hey Pam, hey Erica, it's great to be back today. I love when I'm asked to test drive a new AccuQuilt die. They are so fantastic. And when I get a new die, I always study it and say, hey, what's on this one? So this one's got a lot of simple shapes and one not so common, but all these shapes can be used to make a plethora of different dies, not just the star and cross. So when I get my new die, I always run me a test sample. And so this is the test block that I did. This block looks great on point and it looks great squared up. So I have got a plethora of, or used to have a plethora of sample blocks. So I started turning them into bowl cozies and pot holders. So now I've got little gifts I can tuck inside of a basket if I need a get well gift basket, or these are all going to go into Easter baskets. So I made a whole bunch of these and I really love them. So as I get going playing with this die, I threw it into EQ8 and started designing quilts in EQ8. So this is our block, our star and cross, squared up, repeated. And depending on how you color this thing, I've got this really cool red chasing ribbon that goes through here. And as it passes through that 9 patch, it appears to be weaving in and out, which I think is a really nice idea. And then I thought, what if I add another block to it? So I started going through the block choices and dug out my cubes and my cube books and thought, hey, this one will look great with it. So I pulled out just a simple star. So I've got my star and cross and a simple star, and the coloring makes it appear to be Aztec-y. So I've got my reds and yellows and black, and then I put a diamond border around it. So I've got a really nice, aesthetically pleasing table runner. So then I thought, well, what if we put that baby on point? So then I put this one on point. So I drew it out so you can see that we're on point here. Then I took half a block, just half of this block, and filled in my triangle outsides. Instead of using my triangle setting dies that I could do, I took half of this block. And boy, didn't that turn out cool. So this is your half here and your full block here. Endless opportunities with this die. So then I thought, well, let's keep playing with some other blocks and see how it looks together. So I picked this one off, and it's a very simple 9-patch block, but it looks great with this because it gives us an illusion. It gives us 2 different design patterns going through it, right? And so then I thought, well, what happens? So I like this color combination. So then I changed up the color combination. Same quilt, different color combinations. So all playing in EQ8, I can decide how I want to make my quilt. Do I want it more bluesy and yellows, or do I want it more springtime? I think you're getting my picture on springtime here. I'm ready for springtime. So then I thought, well, going on my springtime here, I did make me a table runner out of that same block and the die, our stars and cross die, and turned it into a table runner. And I did use our setting triangles to fill in my triangle spaces, and it's absolutely lovely. And I love the greens, and I'm so ready for spring. So there you go. And then we start playing around with the shapes that are included in this. So I eliminated this entire band here. Let me see if I can show you this on here. I eliminated this whole middle piece, and I only used these outside edges. And then I sewed them into this little funky piece here, made a nice red ribbon that goes through it. So I have, they almost look like those old anvils. But if you put these together, you've got a really nice border that would have red ribbons running through it too. So you can make all kinds of different shapes and different little block borders. I love to play in borders. So you've got an opportunity to make a lot of different little borders. So my final my final one was I did simple blues and yellows, but I picked a 4-patch out of the 9-patch pieces from the center and created a really beautiful border around here. Borders, I think, sometimes can really totally set your quilt off. So I hope you enjoy playing with this as much as I did, and I'm going to go get ready to show you my final project. Thanks.
Okay, I thought that was fabulous.
Yes.
And I like the idea of taking the pieces and seeing what else you can make with them.
Yes, and she is so good at that.
And borders and all of those things that she kind of alluded to and the things that you can do. But I like that little anvil block.
I did too. I did too. That was fun. So another great idea she came up with was using that partial block like a setting triangle, right?
Oh, yes.
So like basically this is exactly how that would work, right?
Oh, yes. Can we show it? There we go.
So if we set it on point, that partial block that we had is just going to fill in that gap on the side.
Isn't it amazing how different this
It looks so different when you do that.
Yeah.
It really does. All right, she did a great job also of showing us the difference that color makes in a project, didn't she?
Oh, very much so.
The difference between where you put your light and your darks with this is almost startling,
Right,
right?
because it just changes the whole
The
outlook.
whole thing, yeah.
Outlook. And she actually got me thinking about another one of our great block on board dies, the Go North Carolina Star, when she mentioned taking out a section. So let's look at
Yes.
the block.
Okay,
and
so
look,
I have
and if
some
we-
partial sections,
Yes.
pieces over here. So what we want to do is look at it without taking out those picket fence
Yes.
shapes. And I love the block that you create.
Okay, this one is so fun, and I wonder how big it is when you finish, because somebody's going to ask us
Somebody
that.
is going to ask us. But you could change it up too and make that like look at that. Just laying,
I feel like it's going to finish to an 8-ish inch block.
probably, I mean, seam allowance matters, right?
Right, it does. I like that a lot.
9, yeah, probably. It might be an odd measurement, but I think it would be worth it to do
Oh,
some
see, look at
exploration with
that.
it. Look what a difference that makes, just those two pieces.
Yeah.
Or we could put them on the sides.
Right,
And again, no, it looks like eyeballs. Now I can't unsee
it
it.
does. Oh my gosh, for sure. And then she had talked about borders, and earlier we were kind of looking at some of the
Right.
pieces. And I thought this was,
This is really clever.
I need some of this fabric.
Yeah, that's fun fabric, isn't it?
Well, because this looks like it's the right side, but it's not.
It's not, yeah.
Don't mind us as we
Yeah,
deviate
we just play. But when she talked about the different shapes on the die, that was really interesting too, and that was something that you and I had talked about. So while these look like familiar shapes, and a lot of you in your quilting heads are going, oh, I can make that with my cube, right? But you can't because they're different sizes. So this is going to expand your die, your shape library quite a bit, really.
Look at this as a corner block.
Oh yeah.
Right?
See, it's that whole
Okay,
setting
You
triangle
want to
thing.
talk about our pieces?
So this square, it's actually like a 1 7/8 inch square. So it's going to finish at 1 3/8. That's the size we don't have.
No, and
right?
1 7/8 I would never cut because I don't think my ruler has a 7/8. So there we go. Sorry.
Excuse me, I'm falling prey to my allergies.
But talk about the chisel.
But the chisel, so the chisel is going to finish to 2 7/8 by 1 3/8. So it's a very different shape. I mean, it looks like it's the same, but
It does.
the sizes are different. So it's definitely going to expand your shapes.
Wait, and can I talk for
Go,
30
go.
seconds?
What do you want to talk
Okay,
about?
well, because normally we team this up with shape number 5, right?
Right.
From the cube.
Right.
But so that would lay like this. But
This is how this piece works.
Wait, hold
Yeah,
please.
no, you were right.
Was I? Now I gotta look. It has to be flat on the outside. It's
Flat on
because
the
it's this
outside?
way. There. There.
It's the same difference, Pam.
I know, but I'm
But-
just saying.
Here, look at border like this. Now hand me your chisel. Wouldn't this be
Oh,
a
that's
fun
super cute.
border? And then you could back them up to each other like that. There's a lot of potential here. There
Lot of
really
great shapes.
is. And I love how she did the 4-patch. She pulled out the squares and made that coordinating 4-patch to go with
right.
it for the border. That was really cool.
That's really cute.
But let's talk about those shapes that we don't know what to call them. I call them pickets. They could be a stake through a vampire's heart, Lynn.
They could.
I don't know what made me think of that.
Because she likes Buffy.
She does, she does.
She's a Buffy fan.
But look, it's kind of like a nice, a chunky little, what are you doing?
I'm trying to get my piece in. I had to figure it out.
I'm building a picket fence over here. But you could use the strip die and cut something narrower too.
Oh, you
Wouldn't
totally
that
could.
be cute?
With the tractor and the farm animal.
Oh, the tractor.
I know, if you were lucky enough to get
Oh.
one. I think they're coming, well, I don't know. They're
I
out
don't
of stock.
know.
It was the die to try.
Yeah, and we ran out.
So I like this because I think this is an obelisk shape, but the team talked about how it was also a pentagon. So are all obelisks pentagons, but not all
Pentagons are obelisks because most of her pentagons aren't.
are short.
Right, they'd be like
They're
this.
very, very few tall pentagons.
Right. Oh, the things we get into.
All right, let's think about some other,
We've talked about borders.
okay, and have we talked about how, oh, and we've talked about all their different sizes, so I think we're ready to move on.
Well, yes, because people do ask about, but I still think talking about borders is good, and I think there's even more things that you could do with these shapes for borders because people want border treatments for panels all the time.
All the time,
And I
people
think
tell
you
us
could
that.
really do some fun things with these shapes.
Okay,
It would be great for that.
all right.
So,
All right, and, yep, we're good. Kenyon, keep going. Oh. Okay, I love how Tammy worked out some different ways for using the shapes and all of the border pieces. Okay, so we have talked about funky half square triangles,
yes,
right?
yes,
We've changed out the center for that gingham look. You
Right.
do like a good gingham.
I do love a good gingham.
And I like the flipping the dark and the light.
Yes.
So like if we were to use this as dark and these as
Light, yeah.
that creates a whole different look.
It does. It does.
Okay.
All right. Now we are having so much fun coming up with ideas for this die. Clearly, we need to be reined in just a little bit.
Just a tad.
So here is our question for you. What dies would you like to combine with the new Go Star and Cross 10-inch finished bob die blocks?
I do love a 10-inch block.
You know, some
Because
of
the
our
math is 10, 20,
30, 40, we can do that. We can do that, quilters.
Let us know in the comments section wherever you stream our show. We'll talk about it later in the show, all your ideas.
All right. Well, Tammy had so many great ideas. I can't wait to see what Marianne's put together.
Let's do. All right, Marianne, what do you have to share with us?
Well, thank you, Pam and Erica, and hello, quilters. I'm really excited that I get to play with the new 10-inch finished star and cross die. There are not a lot of pieces. They're all straight sewing, and there's a lot of different things you can do. Whenever I'm working on a new die, the very first thing I do is I make a test block. And this was simple, easy, and I really like the way the colors play together. Now, I put together on my EQ8 a bunch of different colorways because what I like to do is take the block and then say, okay, what else can I do? And I start changing the colors and playing around with it just to see how it looks differently each time you change the color. So I'm going to go down to the design board because I've taken each of these blocks and I've made some quilts on EQ8 so you can see how they sew out. See, here's the star and cross die, and as I said, this is a 10-inch finish, so one way, and all I've done right now, this is straight across, straight sewing, 4 across, 5 down, and I just laid out the one simple block with the 2 colorways to see what the pattern difference looks like. Then I have a bunch of them, so let's look, okay? And each time I change the colorway, it changes the entire look of the quilt, so don't let anybody tell you that color doesn't make a difference. Here we go. Here are a couple others. This one, it looks really neat. This looks like some kind of a Gaelic, you know, one of those, I don't know, Gaelic crosses or something like that. And I do like the blue and yellow. Let's look. I've done one in red. Here's a red. And I just think it is such a versatile. Look at this one and look at this one. They look totally different. It's the exact same block. All I did is change the color placement. And here's a few more. Again, look at this. It looks totally different. And this one looks like a checkerboard almost.
Okay, so let me do, I think I got one more. Yeah, here it is. This one's done in like a red, white, and blue, so you can almost do it for Quilts of Valor, and then another blue one. So then I decided to take that same block, do it in one colorway, and add some other alternate blocks for it. In this one, can you tell what I've used with it? That's correct. It's the pineapple. The next one, all I've used is a 9 patch. And then here, it's an Irish chain. And look at how the look changes just by adding a different alternate block. So I said, what else is popular? One of the things I find people doing a lot of these days is borders. And I said, okay, what if I take this die and I take this shape, and rather than trying to reinvent the shapes and matching them with other things and figuring out the measurements, what if I just take a section of it and try to create a border? So the very first thing I did is I took this section right here. Right here, that's this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. It has the chisel shape, the triangles, and I've done this, and I strung them all together to see how they would look, and I get this border, and I just think it's nifty looking. If you're looking for a way to finish a quilt with a little pizzazz, a border will always do it for you. So then I went back in and I looked at it again. I said, okay, what if I grab a little bit more of it? So this time I've taken this whole section here, and I said, oh, what if I make a border out of it? And I've tried to, and again, if you've noticed, I've printed these on EQ8 or with a color printer, and then I just cut them out and pasted them together because it's a really good way for me to see how the shapes fit together without actually cutting my valuable fabric. So here is a second border, and I think this one's kind of cool. And this one finishes, let's see, I have my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's about a 5-inch finished border. I just think it looks great. And I did one more, and this one, can you see what I did with it that time? I've taken part of the middle, and I've taken it in here, and I've made a border out of it. So I think this block not only makes beautiful quilts, it makes beautiful borders as well. The other thing, since this is a 10-inch finished block, and as I mentioned to you, I did a few other pieces with it, look at all the blocks you can pair it with. The Alabama Beauty, the Crazy Quilt, the Pickle Dish, the Tangled Star, the Chimney Sweep, the Lucky Star, the Pineapple. All of these are available to you to pair with this 10-inch finished block on board, Star and Cross. But I've got to go make a final project. Wait till you see which of these blocks I've used to pair with it.
All right. Whirlwind ideas
Oh,
from Marianne.
absolutely.
And she really did a lot with changing the colors with this block. And we talk about this all the time, quilters. Colors make a huge difference.
Yes. She is firmly in her blue period, isn't
She and you could totally be hanging out together.
Mm-hmm. But it's a great reminder about EQ8 software and how useful it is. Now, Lori Miller, who we love,
Lori Miller.
Lori, she wrote a great blog post for us recently about using the electric quilt software along with her AccuQuilt block libraries that she has put together. So check that out if you're interested in learning more about how EQ8 works. She makes it so easy.
She does, and she is just so knowledgeable about
she
EQ8.
is.
She wrote
She is.
all sorts of great things.
And I did love how Mary Ann created that look of an Irish chain.
Yeah, that was cute.
Yeah, and seasonal.
Oh, yes, just around the corner.
Yes.
Okay. All right, but let's talk about what she did with printing the block sections to play with them for different
Okay,
border
that
blocks.
was super clever.
Super idea, just print them out on your color printer rather than cutting and sewing blocks together.
Right.
And then printing multiples, laying them out was clever, and both of our experts thought about using the shapes in this die for different borders.
Right.
And again, quilters, we get that question all the time. Give us some ideas for borders, for panels. And
Yes, yes. Now we're going to talk about the dies that you all want to combine with the Go Star and Cross in a little bit. But you and I have some ideas of our own, starting with the setting triangles, right?
Yes, yes.
And I grabbed you a die too, just
Oh.
so we can show them.
Okay, so this is the 10-inch finished setting triangles. And we want to talk about this because we're currently doing a quilt along
We are.
with the good folks at AQS using a 10-inch finish bob.
Yes.
That is set on point. So the reason you want setting triangles is because this is the lengthwise grain. And what happens with setting triangles, back before there was a die, I would just cut a really big square.
Right.
And I would just sew it to the end of my block and then just lop it off. And then I'd sew the other side and I just lop it off. Well, the problem is that grain was maybe right or maybe wrong.
Well, it was wrong because it was always the bias.
Oh, right,
And the
'cause we cut
bias
it
has
in
the
half.
biggest stretch of the fabric.
Yep.
And you don't want the edge of your fabric to stretch. We had that discussion on what our quilters would
did
tell us
last
if
week.
we were to approach them with a quilt with bias on the outside.
Oh my gosh, Christina is my good friend who quilts my quilts, and she would have a conversation.
I would drop several notches
She
in
would
Mr. Ron's eyes.
Yeah, she would say, Pam Heller, there's a die for that.
Yes.
So it's going to allow it to keep it. Hey, will you bring back your little pieces? Because I wanted to
Certainly.
see something here.
What would you like to see?
Well, I would like to see those together and see if this could work as a setting triangle.
Oh, by golly, I believe it could.
Look at that.
Because it's designed, that's what it's designed to do. It's
Right.
designed to do that. So we talked about that with this.
Right.
And because this is the outside of your block, you're going to be good as far as your lengthwise grains.
Look at us knowing some stuff.
I know. All
right.
And really the reason is because if you're setting your blocks on point and you've got another one on point down here, you're going to have this awkward
Here, let's get
shape.
one.
You're going to have this awkward space. Oh, speaking of the tangled star in our quilt along, there it is now. So if you fill in that space, then you don't have to lose half of your carefully pieced blocks
Right.
and disrupt your design.
Right. And while we're talking about it, let's talk about here in the center, we could use one of our 10-inch finished square dies. Hey, that's only for the go big.
Oh, good
Yes.
point. Good
It
point.
cuts a 10.5-inch square, finishes 10.5. But that gives you tons of real estate for other things, right?
Right. So it would give your eye a place to rest. It could also give you a place to really focus on some great quilting, but it's also great real estate for applique and or embroidery, right?
Oh, so much.
And actually, you could make alternate blocks with almost any of the 216 blocks that you can make with the Go Cube 10-inch finished block and the companions. And we've got some 10-inch cube blocks over
Yeah.
there.
Oh, here, hold on. I got to put our sitting triangles back.
We don't want to lose our pieces.
Oh my gosh, so many pieces and parts.
Excuse me, I don't mean
so
to
let's talk
cough in
about
my
some
mic.
other bobs because these are super fun. Okay, so this is Go Tangled Star. This is what we're using right now.
Right.
Okay, but you could also
You could put them, yeah, just look
Together.
at them straight
I
across.
like them better on
I-
point because they match.
They're different thing. They're different look.
Okay, look at this
There's the chimney sweep.
chimney sweep.
Now
It
let's
has
put
that
it-
same cross in the center.
Yeah, and good both ways. Yeah.
It is. I
Okay.
need to press this.
Yes. I didn't press. Oh, now this is fun. I pulled this out. This is the Alabama Beauty.
And now some of you are already thinking, wait, when did that die? This die has been out for a while.
It has, yeah.
And I love it because it has arches, but it has notches.
Yes.
And when you sew this together, just giving you a heads up, you're going to sew it together like this.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Because you always want to sew your smile on top. Now here's another one. And Marianne showed this.
Here, let's
And that's
see
a
what it looks like.
pineapple block.
Gosh, I like that a lot.
You are a huge fan of the pineapple
I
block.
love the
too.
pineapple block.
And happily the colors kind of sing together.
Yeah, and I like this block because you could make it two colors. You could make it scrappy. Gosh. All right.
Oh, her
here.
quilting head. This is the Lucky Star.
with
I think
gnomes.
this would be super fun with it.
I like that a lot.
Look at that.
I would probably not have gnomes
Okay.
in it.
Well, probably not, but look. Oh,
That like matches right up.
yes. Oh, I like that a lot.
Okay, quilters. Okay, so there's some examples of bob dies, but wait, there's more.
Yes.
So here's a 10-inch block using our companion corners with the signature block.
This is fun.
Okay, now this is really fun.
Yeah, it
because
is.
You have the same cross look, just fatter.
Chunkier.
That works.
Okay.
Everybody's like, I don't want chunky blocks. I don't want fat blocks. Oh, this kind
This
of
is
is that
interesting.
same look that
Let's put these straight on.
that Tammy was talking about, like that anvil block.
I think you could do some fun things if you twisting this different directions. Oh, I can see some real potential for that. Let's look at this one.
This is just super simple. It's just rectangles.
Yeah, but how fun is that?
So let's turn it on point and see
Okay.
how it looks.
Oh,
All right.
that's fun too.
Okay,
It is
quilters,
just
so now
sunny.
all of you need to go to your 10-inch cubes and your 10-inch companions.
And take a look.
10-inch bobs.
That's right.
Okay, super great ideas, but don't you think we should give another die away?
I think we should.
Okay, the lucky winner of a Go Star and Cross die today is, drum roll please. I need a K from Enos, Texas.
Congratulations.
Okay, I think our winners are gonna have so much fun.
They are. They are. We have.
All right, let's see what our experts have made for I can't even imagine their final project.
I know.
Tammy, what did you make?
Hey ladies, I'm back with my final project. I'm gonna have to hold it up high here so you can see it. I took the Stars and Cross die and paired it up with a 10-inch cube to create the star block here. And as you can see by the coloring of the Stars and Cross, I did light blues and I did dark blues that run through the center of this to create this blue ribbon that runs through the quilt. And so here you have it, Stars and Cross blue ribbon. I hope you love it.
Oh, I love how she used her 10-inch cube with that. What
Yes.
were we just talking about?
And blue ribbon, what a clever
It
name.
really was.
And I think that that's really a really thing to think about, right? Is that it gives that ribbon look.
Yes.
And you might as well play to that strength, right?
Right.
All right, I can't even imagine. Marianne, what did you dream up?
So here is my finished project, my challenge piece, and I've made a table runner using the Star and Cross die in the middle. And can you tell what I've used? The chimney sweep. This is on point, and I've only made 3 Star and Cross blocks. There's 2 whole ones and a half on either side, and then I have taken the chimney sweep and turned them into setting triangles, so you get this rick-racky type of look up here. And I think it looks really clever, and it's not that difficult to do. It takes 3 chimney sweep blocks and 3 Star and Cross blocks plus a border, and you're done. Couldn't be easier. Love the Star and Cross die. I hope you do too. Happy quilting.
Okay.
Sorry, we were looking.
We were looking very
Chimney
carefully.
sweep. We just
Chimney
talked
sweep.
about
We
that.
did. We did. It's another 10-inch finish.
Again, it has those stripes through it, ribbons
Yes.
through it.
Yes. It does. Now, I think we've all seen how important color is to creating the different looks with
And
this
totally
block.
different looks.
Totally different looks.
Totally different.
Now, we talked about EQ8, which is like for designing your own quilts,
Right.
but we also want to share a little bit about Go Quilt.
Right. So EQ8 is our design tool. Go Quilt is our color tool. It is a free design tool that can help you change colors and fabrics in thousands of patterns. It's a free tool on our AccuQuilt.com website. Let's take a look and see how it works. Okay, huge shout out to Kenyon and our team. He made that.
Yes, he did.
I love it. All right, I think it's time for the Give Me to come out here for our trunk show. What do you think?
I think so too. Lynn, what do you think?
Oh, I am loving this die.
So before you show this,
Yes.
tell us what die you would pair it up with.
You know, I have been watching the show, and I love the chimney sweep pairing.
I do too.
Because, you know, to get that really interesting edge.
Yeah, that stair
yeah.
step,
Yes.
like a
Yeah.
log cabin. You could
Right.
make a total
Yeah,
10-inch
oh.
log cabin.
And I
Yeah.
agree with the pineapple too. I want to look at that one more.
Okay,
So,
but look at this one.
Okay.
this is
so
amazing.
this is the Go Bright Spark Table Runner by Amanda Harward. She's Larkspur Quilts. She's used some beautiful Northcott fabrics, and
It's
that-
for you, Erica.
It
it's
is.
your blue
It's my
phase.
blue phase. Look at these great curves of the Alabama Beauty with the angular.
Right, and it still
Blocks.
creates all of this great movement.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's so fun. We talk about this all the time. Like, if you're new to AccuQuilt or new to quilting, start with a table runner.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, this is so pretty. And then, okay, Amanda, just for the win, right? Gold, right? Gold
Yes.
thread that just is waves.
Well, and you talk about movement and how how important it really is to pick the right quilting, the way to quilt it,
Right.
too. And here you're creating even more movement with the waves of the way that it is finished.
I love it.
So I love that. And this is folded in half, so this is a really nice size.
It could fit on your table at home.
It could, yes, very tempting.
I don't know. It could also fill Erica's. Shall we see the back? Because that's why there's gold fabric.
Yes.
Look at that beautiful Northcott fabric.
Isn't that
Beautiful.
stunning?
Love that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
Good job, Amanda. I always am so impressed with our designers and how they just take color and movement and other
Yes.
things. The next one is the Modern Star and Cross Wall Hanging by our good friend Susie Webster of Webster Quilts. She used Island Batiks. This is the pattern that you can find on the packaging, and this is the block that we created, the lovely Erica and I did for our video.
That's right. So I love this. It's set straight, but you get it really emphasizes the diagonal look, doesn't it?
Well, and did you notice how she quilted it like around the pieces?
Yes.
Not on the pieces, around. So
Around
there's
them.
all of that rounded movement with these straight lines.
Yeah.
I do love the batiks.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It'd be an easy one to make scrappy if you wanted to use up some scraps. You're only using 2 dyes here, you know.
Right.
So definitely just one for the border and
You know what? This would make a great baby quilt. You
It
said
would.
you
Phoebe
had a
has to
couple
make-
baby quilts in your future.
Yes, she does. She has to make a couple
Thank
baby
you
quilts.
for the suggestion. Yeah.
Super cute. I like it a lot.
like that.
And it only takes 9 blocks. So this is such a great chain piecing block. We talked
Yes.
about that in the video, how you're just putting your pieces and sewing and chain piecing for days.
Yeah, and this would be a pattern you could grow up if you wanted to. You could make
Yes.
it bigger.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm always
Easily.
like starting with the pattern probably and then kind of seeing how I make it my own. But
Yeah.
this is great.
That's a great
Good
thing
job,
to point
Susie.
out.
Very
Good job.
nice.
Well, the next one we've got is the Go Spring Stars Sprung. Don't say that too fast. Throw quilt. It's by Melissa Corey, and she's used Moda fabrics, and I love this.
So Melissa is one of our new designers, yes? This year?
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
And okay, I love the fact that first of all, she used grunge.
Yes.
Which is my all-time favorite fabric. But this colorway, this tan and the bright pink and the light pink
Yeah.
and that splash of green, this is yummy. This looks like pink lemonade with a lime or some, oh my gosh.
Cherry limeade.
Cherry limeade.
That's
there you
it.
go, Melissa.
Cherry limeade.
Okay.
But she's used 2 bobs with it,
has.
which is unique because most of the time our designers will add 1 bob or another bob.
Right.
She used 2, and it's the Rising Star
Yep,
right here, which is one of our Lynn's favorite blocks.
it is.
And then the other one,
Mosaic number 4.
Mosaic number 4.
And this is such a cool block because it gives that 3D look, kind of. But as she pairs it up with the other blocks, the whole thing looks a little 3D.
Yeah.
Gosh,
does.
I like this a lot.
So this could be a great, you're making me think of a question for a future event, right? Where which block or which bob die, speaks to you, represents you.
Yeah.
And I have always, it's true, the Rising Star, for whatever reason, has always
Right.
been the one that I gravitate towards.
Oh, it's
but
super cute.
yeah, this is very creative, but great use of some of those bob dyes you might have in your dye library.
That's right.
Cherry lime.
Beautiful quilting on it too. What is
Oh yeah,
that?
let's show the
Yeah,
back.
let's see the back.
She used white grunge with.
White grunge with the
But
the stars.
Again, it's such stark lines, right? So I love the fact that there's
Nice soft
soft
curves.
waves and feathers or whatever those are called.
Yeah, great choices.
Gosh,
Very pretty.
that might have to live at my house.
Well, you'll have to see which one I pick first.
I knew that was coming. We got one left.
The next is the Go Spring Parade throw quilt by our good friend Ellen Alt. I met Ellen a couple of weeks ago in Daytona. It was so fun to meet her. She's from Handmade 3D, and she used Robert Kaufman fabric. And Erica, this is the one she is going to just fight Lynn for.
Yeah, I am.
There'll be
I
a
am.
rumble later because
There will
this
be.
is so cool.
Because this is the purples and the greens, two of my very favorite colors, even though I've been going through a blue phase. But she's paired it up with the 10-inch cube. And this is our old friend, the trapezoid.
Because somebody woke up and said, "Gosh, I wish there was a trapezoid in a cube," so we put one in there. And then shape number 5. This again has that like woven 3D look, right? This doesn't even look like this.
The block.
Here,
Yeah.
hold please.
I mean, a lot of it is,
Look
just
at that.
turning it on point.
Yeah.
It's
And the
so
color
different.
placement. And the color placement and the setting.
Right?
This just screams summertime picnic to me.
Ellen did such a lovely job.
It is wonderful. And the person that woke up one day and said, "We need a trapezoid," is in this room.
I know. I say that all the time because I know that Gibney designed that and said, "Oh, we should have a trapezoid."
Okay, so here's the thing. I wouldn't have known a trapezoid before
No.
if I bumped into it on the street. But as soon as you put it in quilting context,
Yeah.
boom.
So another cool thing that Ellen did was give this 9-pouch 3 colors
Yes.
instead of 2.
Yeah.
And I think that really makes a difference as well.
Well, it gives it that gingham or that plaid look,
Spring
and
look.
I just love it.
Yeah, and when you're choosing fabric, I mean, there's so many options with some of these lines now that you can select a lot of
Yes.
these
Right.
colors that are similar in
Right.
color and create these
Yes.
dimensions. We must show the back here because not only is it
Oh,
wonderful,
how
but you
pretty.
can see the quilting.
Look at
too.
how cute that is.
And the quilting really coordinates.
It is.
So it's got these little flowers and bubbles, but it really coordinates then with the little flowers in the quilting.
Our designers really, all of them, perfect 10s across the board for
Absolutely.
our projects today.
Yes.
All right, all of
I
these
don't even know what
patterns.
she's going to ask.
I know. But wait. All of these are available. They're free downloads. They're at AccuQuilt.com, sitting right there waiting for you. Okay, Lynn. We know you're bound to have a favorite.
What are you thinking?
I'm going to take this one for a little inspiration for my baby quilt. That
There
I'm
you
working
go.
on.
Good idea.
Yeah, I love this. And then we can, we all have a favorite. But they're fantastic, all of them.
All of them.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so
Thanks.
thank you.
Oh, she gets extra points because look.
She does. It's got
She put a sleeve
Put
on
a
it.
sleeve.
All right.
So
Enjoy
good.
the rest of the show.
All right, all free patterns at AccuQuilt.com. You
Yes.
can take your favorite.
I know.
Hey, I just want to know, did she bring that tractor quilt back from last month?
Oh, I love that quilt.
I know, and that die sold out.
It did.
All right, I don't know. We always
All
have to wonder.
Well, never mind. It's time for the fabric mailbox. We get to see what our friends from Andover have sent us to give away today.
Now, I'm just saying, if it's the blue,
They're going to have to fight me for it.
Yeah.
No, I think that was Northcott.
oh, good. Okay, you ready?
Yes. Are we going to love it?
We're going to so love this.
Look. Oh, you
Look
know
at
what?
this. Just
How
in time
fun.
for the 4th of
Okay.
July.
I'm just going to take
We're gonna
this
take it
out. We're
off.
going to take a nice look at it.
Okay, so first of all, it has stars and stripes and all of the fun things for the 4th of July. But okay, think about using that new bob die, the stars and cross, and that
Which
it's
one?
all
The
gone.
table runner?
No, right here, this one. 'Cause look,
What are you thinking? What are you thinking?
right here.
Oh, yes.
Because then you could make both blocks,
Yes.
right?
Have to press this.
It bugs me every time we show this
Yeah.
block and it's not pressed right. Because then you could use stars and cross and chimney sweep.
Oh, yes. Wouldn't this be a terrific Quilts of Valor project, too?
Oh my gosh, yes. All right.
Oh my
they say
goodness.
we have to give it away though.
All right.
Okay, first winner of a fabric selection from our good friends in Andover is, drum roll please, Kathy N. from Lake Villa, Illinois. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Oh, so pretty. Oh, I've got blue. This one comes in different colorways. Okay.
Yes.
I'll give it to you.
Do you have a?
Yes, there it is. All right, the second winner of a selection of fabric is, drum roll, please. It's Jennifer P. from Des Moines, Iowa.
Des Moines is down the road.
Congratulations. Just down the road. Lots of good props around
This is
there.
a good bundle of fabric.
These are great bundles of fabric.
Our huge shout out to our good friends at Andover for sponsoring today's show and helping us make this a great launch. Our
right.
quilters are going to love making projects with this fabric. I would.
I would too.
Gosh. All right.
All right, quilters. Now, earlier in the show, we asked what blocks you wanted to try out alongside the Go Star and Cross block. Star and Cross block. And
Erica's
now
had
it's
trouble
time to
getting
hear
those
your
to work.
responses. Star and Cross, Star and Crown. I'm having issues.
Oh, yes. Okay, so Elizabeth C. says cross canoes.
Oh, that's a good one.
I do like that
You
one.
know, I think it's a 9, but you know what? You can always put
add
a border.
All right.
All right, Denise C. says Tangled Star.
Yes.
Yes, yes, and yes.
Yeah, and hey, listen, if you haven't joined our AQS Quilt Along, for it's not too late. Tomorrow,
No.
Erica's going to go through the trunk show.
Right, it's going to be the show and tell, but you know what? We've recorded all the shows and we've got all the blogs there. You can go back and read the blogs, watch the shows, jump in anytime.
So today, when you're ordering your Star and Cross die, then order the Tangle Star die
Right.
and a 6x24 cutting mat.
Right.
All right, Barbara R. says chimney sweep. I'm in agreement.
Yes, very much so. And Sandra said pineapple.
My gosh, I love it.
Yeah.
Kayla P says the Rising Star, which was in our drink one.
Oh, yes.
Cherry limeade.
Our cherry limeade, yes. Alyssa P says Lucky Star. I liked how that looked.
That looks really cool.
It really did. It really did.
And I like the fact that some of our bob dies give that illusion of curves, even though they're straight pieces. And I feel like Lucky Star kind of does that. You know what would also be good is is the other star.
Quilting
Keep going.
minds.
Keep going.
Okay. Nancy R has a whole quilt in her mind, I can tell, because she said Irish chain and emojis. She's got something up her sleeve.
Oh,
we
she
want to
does.
see when you make that.
What's the one that looks like ninja stars? Come on,
It's
guys.
a Lucky Star.
Is that what it is? Right there. I know.
Oh,
I can
no.
see them on the wall. They're all looking.
They'll
Look
tell
for
us.
it. Right there between, right there. Yes, to the left. No, to the, yeah.
Road to
Road
Fortune.
to Fortune. I knew they would know if I said ninja stars. Okay, Valerie and Randy both said Tangled Star for sure.
For sure.
For sure, for sure.
Daphne said Mosaic number 4. I have to say, I really like how that looked in our cherry limeade that isn't called that.
I know, but forever it will be called that.
It will be.
Jane J also agrees with the
Oh, she said Courtyard.
courtyard.
Oh.
Courtyard is an
Oh,
interesting block.
yeah,
It's
it
right there
is.
next to our ninja stars.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Velma D said the Lotus block. Oh, that would
Now,
be
does
stunning.
Lotus finish to 10 or 12?
I can't remember, but
think
it
it
would be
finishes.
stunning.
And what about pickled dish?
Ooh, pickle dish finishes to 10, doesn't it?
It does.
That,
I do like
can
that.
see-
So many good choices.
great ideas,
Thanks for letting
quilters.
us know.
Thank you. We want to
All
see
right.
all your projects.
In a couple of weeks, I am on a Wednesday show. We're
I thought you were going to say in a couple of weeks we want to see all those projects done.
In a couple of weeks, I'm going to see them all on our website.
All of them done.
Tag them with hashtag AccuQuilt. No, in a couple of weeks, I'm going to do the Star and Cross block. So
Oh,
I have
good.
a couple of weeks to think about what I'm going
What
to
you're
do
gonna
and
do.
what I'm going to match it up with.
Okay.
But until then, we have tons of great deals available for you on our website, including some great die and project bundles.
That's right. Now to get your order in, open a new tab, type in AccuQuilt.com/party. It'll take you to the site, show you the offers, place your order. Just a reminder about this die. This is a die to try die. That means it's only available this month or while supplies last. And yes, we sell out of these on a regular basis before the end of the month.
That's right. And only you can only get it from us or your local AccuQuilt retailer. And again, last month's die to try sold out, so don't wait. And to find a retailer, go to the AccuQuilt website. On the top, there's the store locator.
Yes.
All right, quilters, it is National Quilting Month. It is March.
It is.
And if you're in the Omaha-Lincoln area, our good friend Christina Morrow will be hosting the AccuQuilt booth at the International Quilt Museum in Lincoln, Nebraska on National Sewing Day when they celebrate it March 16th. The event starts at 10 a.m. Christina will be there. She will show you, she's going to cut some stuff and sew some stuff. And I think she has some green bags to give away.
Oh, okay.
It'll be fun.
You know what else happens in March?
St. Patrick's Day.
March Machine Madness.
No.
Yes, we've got great deals on cutters. So if you don't,
forgot about
you've
that.
never gotten a cutter before, now's the perfect time. Or maybe you're ready to upgrade. Check it out. All right, that about wraps it all up with a big old bow for today. We hope that you're as inspired as we are to start creating some starry projects with the Go Star and Cross die.
We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching our show. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel and look for live events every Tuesday and Wednesday.
You can visit the events page on AccuQuilt's website for more details on upcoming shows. And while you're there, check out the blog for tips, tricks, tutorials, and inspiration galore.
And remember, at AccuQuilt, we help you cut time.
So you can quilt more.
Be sure to join me every Wednesday at 12 noon Central Time for AccuQuilt Live. Tomorrow, it's show and tell for the AQS AccuQuilt-along. Everybody's going to see our Go Grapefruit Slice throw quilts.
Next Tuesday, we're taking a little break, but we'll be back on March 19th to reintroduce you to a couple of your favorite dies. We hope to see you there.